If you guys haven't heard already, it's going around everywhere about Kamala Harris possibly not qualifying to be VP because of her birthright, her not being born in the US. It gets a lot more complicated than that. But really what I want to touch on is, did Trump actually agree that she wasn't eligible? Did he disagree? What actually happened? Because obviously CNN and all the other news outlets like taking something and running with it, or even flipping it to something that it isn't. So let's see what actually happened.
President, I have two questions. The first one on domestic politics. There are claims.
Can't understand a word you're saying.
There are claims circulating in social media that Kamala Harris is not eligible to run for vice president because she was an anchor baby, I quote. Do you or can you definitively say whether or not Kamala Harris is eligible, meets the legal requirements to run as vice president?
So I just heard that. I heard it today.
Unfortunately, because of CNN and what the news tends to do, you got to break it down as much as you can. But as of right now, he said he heard today. He didn't say she wasn't. He didn't verify it. He didn't deny it. He just said, I heard today. Let's keep going.
I just heard that. I heard it today that she doesn't meet the requirements. And by the way, the lawyer that wrote that piece is a very highly qualified, very talented lawyer. I have no idea if that's right. I would have assumed the Democrats would have checked that out before she gets chosen to run for vice president.
He assumes that the Democrats would have checked that out before choosing her, which is a safe assumption. It's their choice, their VP. They're the ones going with her. He's not. He didn't know anything about it before. Okay, he just said it. I didn't know about it. I just heard about it, but I'll take a look. That's it. That was the extent of it. He heard about it today. He would assume that the Democrats would have looked into that before choosing her, but he didn't know about it. And finally, he ends with, I didn't know about it. I just heard about it. He didn't agree. He didn't disagree. He didn't know anything about it. It's one hell of a claim to be made, but he didn't know anything about it. And see how CNN enters into the segment.
It was a new low and a day full of lows. The President of the United States questioning the legitimacy of Kamala Harris, the vice presidential nominee on the Democratic ticket.
Okay, we're going to stop there. Did he question her legitimacy? No, he didn't. He wasn't even the one that asked the question. The reporter's the one that questioned it. He didn't. He said he had no idea about it. And CNN is still running with this. This one came out yesterday on the 13th. Let's fast forward to today on the 14th.
So the president obviously has raised a lot of eyebrows by commenting and seeming to agree and certainly spread this notion that has been perpetuated in the Newsweek by a conservative lawyer that somehow Kamala Harris is unqualified to run for vice president. Why would your father-in-law, your candidate, the president, actually do this? What is the point?
Okay, so you guys just saw how it changed. So now they're pushing the narrative a little bit further, that he's seeming to question it. He's not disagreeing with it. He said he had no idea about it. And somehow they've managed to turn this into a whole story. A whole story. He had no idea. It's easy to spin a story. Just send one of your reporters in there to ask a question. They probably had the story written up long before they even asked the question. They're like, hey, let's go ask Trump this question, because we can write a whole story around it regardless of what he says. We'll play a quick clip. We'll just now change the entire story and expect people to run with it. If you guys like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe.